Hey guys, we have Black Moon in Cancer energy to talk about today. It is time to make ourselves acquainted with the themes and issues that may be surfacing over this next 9 months when we have the moon activating the Black Moon's new sign position in the sign of Cancer. The Black Moon recently entered Cancer after a 9-month transit through Gemini. So this is going to be triggering some shadow side issues, but in perhaps some different ways than we have been experiencing over the course of the past 9 months. So we have that to talk about today. And we also have a Capricorn moon going on, going to be making a trine to the sun, a trine to Uranus, also a square to Chiron. So we have some of that business to talk about as well. So let's jump into the report, you guys, and see what we got going on vibrationally, astrologically today. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Thursday, April 21st, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the day. And as I mentioned in my intro, we have some new information to talk about today. We have some new themes coming through that we're going to be working with over the course of the next 9 months as the Black Moon transits the sign of Cancer. Now, we are coming out of a Black Moon in Gemini transit. That was also 9 months. The Black Moon takes about 9 months to transit a sign. And whenever the Black Moon is in any given sign, it really is activated by the moon's transit through that particular sign or the sign opposing it. So whereas this past 9 months, we had really been working with our shadow side and subconscious issues when the moon was transiting the signs of Gemini and Sagittarius, now that the Black Moon is transited into the sign of Cancer, we're going to be dealing with these Black Moon issues when the moon is in the signs of Cancer and Capricorn. And today we have a Capricorn moon triggering our first Black Moon in Cancer energy going on. And now whereas the Black Moon in Gemini energy that we are exiting out of right now, or that we have completed the progression of, was very much to do with, I felt, helping us to gain a conscious awareness of the contents of our own subconscious mind, our own shadow side, really bringing them sort of to the forefront of our mind and helping us to, through our conscious awareness, begin to heal, transcend, and overcome our subconscious programming. Now, with the Black Moon transiting, moving into the sign of Cancer, this I feel like is going to be ultimately bringing up issues in regards to how we are able to emotionally support ourselves. The sign of Cancer, this has to do with security, stability, nurturing, support. And a lot of times in this energy, if we feel subconsciously that we are in some way unable to care for ourselves, these are the type of issues that are likely to be triggered. Issues regarding security, support, stability, neediness, and entitlement. And as a result of that, a lot of times we may find ourselves like increasingly irritated or triggered by people that we experience in our external environment who seem to be like overly needy or overly dependent in one way or another. This is sort of the way that the projection of the Cancer Black Moon energy can work. It also is prone to sort of manipulation for the purpose of control over our ability to receive some type of support or comfort or stability that we may feel that we are unable to provide for ourselves. This can kind of sometimes set up situations where people are manipulating circumstances in order to create situations where they are entitled to a form of dependency. I guess we could put it that way. This Black Moon in Cancer also is likely to bring up issues regarding dependency and codependency, and also can sort of have us feeling unsupported or unappreciated in terms of the support that we may be giving. So these are sort of the themes that we're working with now over this next 9 months with the Black Moon transiting into the sign of Cancer. And when the moon again comes into Capricorn, probably going to be triggering these issues. When the moon comes into Cancer, probably going to be triggering these issues. And specifically, especially for people with their sun, moon, Black Moon, a stellium of planets, or natal Chiron in the signs of Cancer or Capricorn. You guys at this point in time over this next 9 months are probably going to be getting more so of the brunt of this shadow side energy as it is seeking to be cleared throughout the collective, and people holding a lot of the Cancer and Capricorn energy really have sort of more work to do in this area. Just as in this past cycle, people with a lot of Gemini and Sagittarius energy were sort of clearing the load for the collective just based on the energy represented within them. And now we're dealing with that same thing, except in regards to Cancer and Capricorn people. So if you have a lot of Cancer placements, if you have a lot of Capricorn placements, again, especially Sun, Moon, Black Moon, like a big stellium or Chiron as well, pay attention to when the moon goes into Cancer and Capricorn over this next 9 months, because you may find yourself just feeling and experiencing sort of these triggered fears and insecurities and stuff like that as they are seeking resolution, healing, release, and integration within us over this period of time. Again, I feel like the whole lesson plan ultimately of Black Moon and Cancer is trying to help us learn to emotionally support ourselves so that we are not like experiencing any lack of internal dependency on ourselves, so that we're not projecting that outwards, either in terms of not wanting to care or nurture others and feeling that they are too dependent or needy in terms of our time, attention, and whatnot, or in terms of us, again, this theme that can go on that represents like manipulating situations in order to make sure that we're in a place where we feel comforted, taken care of, and supported because of that lack of sense of an ability to do that for ourselves. Regulating our own emotions as well, I feel like is a lesson that we are going to be called to learn as we are going through this Black Moon and Cancer transit. So that being said, with the moon coming into Capricorn today, these may be some of the issues that we're experiencing. Perhaps some fears, some worries, some doubts, some insecurities regarding the state of our stability, of our security, of the support that we have in our lives, of our ability to support ourselves, our ability to support and to care for others. These could be, again, just sort of triggering maybe some darker feelings, more heavy, depressed feelings, or just some issues within us that are in Black Moon energy surfacing so that we can gain an awareness. We have done a lot of work on that over this past 9 months and really figuring things out in terms of all of that unconscious, subconscious shadow that has been trying to make its way into the forefront of our vision, our mind, our ability to see and perceive. Well, we need to take that lesson now and apply it in terms of the way that we are in terms of our own relationship to our ability to care for and support ourselves, and therefore the world and the people and the community and the family around us in this energy. So there we go in terms of Black Moon Cancer. Now, taking that out of the picture for a minute, the moon in Capricorn today actually is forming a quite supportive aspect with some of the other planets. We have the sun in Taurus right now, the moon in early degrees of Capricorn. These are both earth signs, so this is forming a very facilitating and assisting trine between the sun in early degrees of Taurus today. So actually, aside from any of these issues that may be surfacing in regards to our safety, our security, our stability, the energy is really supportive of us being very like focused and sort of getting down to business in pursuing some projects that we might be working on right now, or the things that we're trying to grow and manifest and create, or the relationships that we're cultivating right now, or some perhaps like financial or economic endeavors that we are sort of investing in at this point in time. This is a very good day for sort of like some focused, diligent effort. Energy is more withdrawn today. This is a good day to do some sort of like solo work on something. It's not like super duper social and extroverted, but it is a very good day for planning, organizing, structuring our mind, our thoughts as well, our plans in regards to ways that can really support the growth of the projects that we are working on now and trying to bring into fruition. And if we can, in some way incorporate tapping our own resources into that and doing it from a place of authentic creative potential, this will be even more supported in this energy with the North Node in Uranus, also in the sign of Taurus right now, with the sun making the trine to the moon today. So that's a good thing. We definitely have energy that is supporting us in the progression of what we are putting our work and our effort into right now. And the more, serious and focused and dedicated that we can be about the task at hand as it relates to this future progression of our goals and our projects, the better in this energy. Now, after the moon forms the trine to the sun in Taurus today, the moon will then move on and begin to form a square to Chiron in Aries. These are cardinal signs. Chiron is a sign Aries right now. The moon will be in Capricorn, so we're going to be dealing with a Capricorn Aries cardinal square going on between the moon and Chiron. So this energy could be triggering some of our wounds. Again, we sort of have two trigger aspects going on today with the black moon coming in, bringing up sort of those shadow side issues, and also now the moon forming the square to Chiron. There could be some like deep internal wounds that we find ourselves sort of like immersed in or facing as we go throughout the day. But again, you know, the black moon, these issues come up so that we can gain an awareness of them and how to heal them. And Chiron does the same thing. Chiron also surfaces our wounds so that we can go through this hero's journey process of transmuting our states of victimhood into into states of self-mastery and overcoming those issues, overcoming those wounds, overcoming those traumas, and really going on to activate and to rise into our true potential, alleviated from the issues and the cycles and the painful like karmic loops of the past that at this point in time universe is calling us to transcend and to rise out of, as again we are in this new moon cycle. This entire astrological lunar year began in a conjunction to Chiron. So the hero's journey, this Chiron archetype, this internal alchemization process out of those states of victimhood into the state of self-mastery is indicated throughout the entire course of this year. And with the moon coming in square, this is just an activation of this energy today. So there could be some of this sort of hero's journey energy going on today that is sort of bringing up these wounds so that we can really gain an awareness of them and figure out how to heal. That coming through by the black moon and by the Chiron square today. But another feature of this chart today also, you guys, today might be a day where there's some big things happening or some electrifying things happening in one way or another. Uranus is also being very indicated in today's chart. This is for a couple of reasons. Number one, in Uranus, this is the planet that rules shocks and surprises, things happening out of the blue. This is the great rectifier. Uranus basically operates to put things back into proper alignment when they've gotten too far off course. And Uranus also brings awakening. It's the planet ruling the great awakening and our transcendence into the age of Aquarius. And when Uranus is activated, a lot of times it's indicating a very like critical, energetic activation that is helping us in this transitional process, in this shift of age process. And with Uranus being activated today, again, this is happening for a couple of reasons. Number one, Uranus is changing degrees today. Uranus is moving from 14 degrees of Taurus to 15 degrees of Taurus. Uranus is a very slow moving planet. And so when Uranus changes degrees, this sort of sparks the Uranian energy up a little bit. And number two, the moon, after it forms the square, well, kind of simultaneously actually, because Chiron is at 14 Aries and Uranus is at 15 Aries. So meanwhile, while the moon is squaring Chiron, it's also going to be forming another trine, again, the same aspect that it was forming to the sun earlier, this assisting, facilitating aspect to Uranus in the sign of Taurus. Now, Uranus is the great awakening planet. Uranus puts things right. And so while we have the moon forming the square to Chiron, which may be triggering these wounds, simultaneously, we also have the moon forming the trine to Uranus. So whatever wounds are being triggered or whatever is coming up, it's actually happening to help us gain an awakening in some way. This energy is facilitating and assisting our conscious awakening right now, that is actually triggering that energetic vibrational shift that is helping us to bridge forward into the age of Aquarius. And so the fact that these two aspects are happening simultaneously, yes, there may be wounds coming up today, but it's really to wake us up and to open our eyes to something again, to help us gain this awareness of what needs to be healed so that we can essentially liberate ourselves, come into the state of self-mastery, also represented by the age of Aquarius, the Aquarian archetypes, the direction that we're headed right now, so that we can move in this new direction. These things are working hand in hand today. And again, it's very interesting because here we are in this 222 year. The astrological new year happened within a 1 degree orb conjunction to Chiron, the hero's journey, as a major fundamental part of our conscious awakening, of our great awakening, of our transition of ages at this point in time. And again, today, here we have Uranus and Chiron playing out together via the moon and our emotions, talking about this emotional awakening to perhaps some like deep-rooted wounding that may be the reason why these black moon issues are surfacing as well. They're really sort of all interplaying today in a really interesting way. But what it boils down to, again, is this perhaps like epiphany of light that may be coming through in one way or another. Another reason why Uranus is being highlighted today is because of the degree in the position itself of the sun. The sun is at 2 degrees of Taurus, also the sign where Uranus is right now, but that Sabian symbol to Taurus is an electrical storm, illuminates the heavens and the forest. And this is a very, very, very Uranian degree. Uranus 100% would rule electrical storms, especially to the extent of illuminating the heavens and the forest, as above, so below. This degree really, really reminds me of some hardcore Uranus energy. And with the sun at that degree and Uranus also moving to 15 degrees of Taurus today, that Sabian symbol is a man with a rakish silk hat, muffled against the cold, braves a storm. So the degree position that Uranus is moving to today, 15 Taurus, speaking about a storm. The degree of the sun today in Taurus, where Uranus is as well, speaking about an electrical storm illuminating the heavens and the forest, while Uranus also changes degrees today, and the moon is trining Uranus and simultaneously squaring Chiron. So all of these things like bundled up together really makes me feel like there could be some, again, like I said, an epiphany of light coming through today, something like illuminating or electrifying happening in one way or another. Very interesting. And so whatever is transpiring today, whatever is playing out, we really need to keep in mind that there is a very certain like hand of universe that is sort of dipped into things today and placing them how they need to be, like putting things right. That is what this Uranus energy is doing. And so, you know, anything that is transpiring in this energy, any wounds that are coming up, any like insecurities that we're feeling, any fears, any worries, any doubts, any like crazy situations that are unfolding, we really need to hold to the faith right now that a lot of this stuff is really very much like silver lining energy, blessing in disguise type energy, and we may not perceive where this is going or how it could possibly benefit us in the future at this point in time, but that's what Uranus represents. And Uranus is being very, very highly indicated in this chart today in the midst of this black moon energy and this Chiron square energy as well, which is trying to show us our holdup, show us our hangups, show us what still needs to be healed, show us where we are surrendering our power essentially out of a sense of lack of ability to really take care of ourselves internally. So there could be some epiphanies of light coming today, and there could just be some general like awakenings going on in regards to some of the things that may have been holding us back that are surfacing through these more stormy circumstances we may be navigating. These two Sabian symbols are specifically referencing storms twice, and we do have the black moon in Cancer, which is a water sign, which could bring some very stormy or turbulent emotions with the moon in Cancer, or the moon in Capricorn coming into opposition. Remember, the moon in Capricorn, this can also be sort of a more heavy energy where we are feeling just more isolated or more withdrawn or more sort of like just aloof or misunderstood or misrepresented perhaps in some type of a way. It can cause us to feel a little bit more depressed or isolated or lonely too. But again, the real solution to this today with the moon forming the trine to the sun in Taurus is to get down to work on our projects. We need to channel this Capricorn moon and really like get down to business. That's the best way to use this energy right now. And Saturn is at 24 degrees of Aquarius right now, ruling the sign of Capricorn where the moon is today. That Sabian symbol is turning his back on his passions. A man teaches deep wisdom from his experiences. So with Chiron also being in the square today, the Chiron archetype is also a lot like that specific Sabian symbol in terms of what it represents and what it wants us to do. We are really being asked to, again, like take things a little bit more seriously today and tap into the wisdom that we have gained from our experiences and really apply it to the things that we want to grow, build, and structure going forward that can provide us a sense of material comfort, stability, security in our external lives going forward through this period of time. It's interesting because while we have now the black moon in Cancer bringing up these issues of like insecurity or instability or an inability to care for ourselves that may be surfacing over the next 9 months, we also have the North Node in the sign of Taurus, which is asking us to tap into the inner resources that we hold within us and find a way and learn how to become much more self-reliant, much more resourceful, much more dependent and self-sustainable going forward. So So it's like universe is sort of presenting us with like two ends of the spectrum. It's sort of showing us where we're at right now in terms of our ability to really rely on ourselves and care for ourselves, and the issues that may be surfacing within us if we are operating from a place of lack in those regards. But simultaneously, we are being asked to learn and cultivate the skills that would be necessary to remedy that. So it really fits together pretty well. It's like, here is the root issue, and this is what we are working on right now to resolve and to overcome it. Works together pretty well. Also, the South Node in Scorpio, this is about a release from the toxic, like subconscious patterning and the toxic mindsets and attachments of the past, where we have been surrendering our power so that we can learn to tap back into ourselves. So I feel like this North Node, South Node axis right now is really sort of playing into what is going on with the Black Moon right now. And I feel like after this transit of the Black Moon and this transit of the nodes through Taurus and Scorpio, we will all collectively find ourselves in a place where we feel much more secure inside of ourselves in our ability to care for ourselves and to provide that stability and security for ourselves going forward as we are rebuilding in the age of Aquarius in this new paradigm. So actually, you guys, that's pretty much what I have to say overall for the energy today. I want to read a couple more of the Sabian symbols. I already talked about the position of the sun today. Quite ironically, an electrical storm illuminates the heavens in the forest, an epiphany of light, and we are really seeing the truth of things in a very like electrified way in this energy today in one way or another. We also, interestingly, have the Earth today at 2 degrees of Scorpio, the status of things on the ground, what's going on Earth. That Sabian symbol is a broken bottle and spilled perfume. And so things may be like spilling out in one way or another. This degree also sort of resonates to me in terms of this Black Moon and Cancer energy. There may just be some emotions sort of like spilling out, breaking out of the bottle in which they've been contained for a while today in this energy. But this would also be like spilling the tea, finding things out. And it can also perhaps bring up sort of like more of like a melancholy energy, or just sort of like being upset, I guess, about things that may be cracking or breaking down at this point in time that has really like been like a safe and secure container for us up until now. Again, referencing like the Black Moon energy. I feel like this degree is sort of speaking to that, and just generally things may be sort of spilling out today. Also, we have Mercury today at 20 degrees of Taurus, also in the same sign with Uranus and the Sun and the North Node. That Sabian symbol is wisps of wing-like clouds streaming across the sky. This degree also, I feel like, is emphasizing this like illumination or this higher perspective or this clarity that we're gaining in terms of specifically information, not only because we're talking about Mercury ruling information, but also these things are streaming across the sky. This is streams of thought moving very quickly through the air. This also reminds me of Uranus energy. There could be some really big information or news or like electrifying something, streams of thought, streams of consciousness, epiphanies of light, again, coming to us today in one way or another. This degree is just very interesting, and it does remind me of Uranus as well. We have Venus today, a relevant planet, because she is ruling the sign of Taurus, where we have the Sun, Mercury, Venus, or Mercury, Uranus, and the North Node right now at 18 degrees of Pisces. In a gigantic tent, villagers witness a spectacular performance. So again, this is sort of emphasizing to me, or like suggesting that perhaps there may be something big going on today, something illuminating happening, something spectacular happening that is like blowing our mind in one way or another, with all of these Uranus indications and Venus ruling the sign where Uranus and the Sun and Mercury and the North Node are right now. In a gigantic tent, villagers witness a spectacular performance, while we also have an electrical storm illuminating the heavens and the forest, and we also have wisps of wing-like clouds streaming across the sky. Like, there's so much energy in the chart today via the symbols that seems to be representing some type of like I keep saying these same words, but some type of like electrifying performance or situation or spectacle or like big thing going on that is just maybe like blowing our minds in one way or another. So it'll be very interesting to see what comes from this, especially again, like it's not just the symbolism. Uranus is also being implicated today for a few different reasons. Then, as I said, we have Uranus moving to 15 Taurus today. A man with a rakish silk hat, muffled against the cold, braves a storm. It doesn't say what kind of storm. It's cold out, but that could very much still be that electrical storm that is illuminating the heavens and the earth. What storm are we braving today? Is it the storm that has to do with this epiphany of light, this electrifying situation, all of this stuff that is just being illuminated for us that we are seeing and gaining an awareness of, and just like, oh my gosh, this is like blowing my mind and like changing the trajectory of my current course at this point in time. Remember, the North Node is also in the sign of Taurus where this action is happening right now. Even though we're not talking in exact conjunctions yet, this is, bringing up North Node energy, which is pertaining to the destiny, the path ahead, the lessons that we're learning, and fated alignments. Uranus and the North Node together, this is very much fated realignments going on. And with the Mercury, the messenger planet there, this could be coming in the form of information now that we have the sun there too. And also today with the moon trining the sun as well, this could also be in regards to like work projects, again, in some type of way. So that's also interesting. And then of course, we have to talk about the degree of the black moon, since we are talking about the black moon today for the black moon's first activation this time around in Cancer and Capricorn. The black moon is at 1 degree of Cancer on a ship. The sailors lower an old flag and raise a new one. I mean, we could interpret this a few different ways. This could be in regards to, our progression through the black moon in Gemini and that saga being over, us graduating from that energy, lowering that flag and raising the new one of our progression of growth now through the sign of the black moon energy in Cancer and the sense of self-awareness and inner wholeness and inner integration and healing that is going to bring to us as well. This could also be in regards to this purging of the priesthood that we have going on right now and this crumbling of the old matrix and this transition of ages. There are many ways that we could view this specific symbol, and it is kind of applicable across the board, but generally we are transitioning right now out of one energy that we have gained an experience with, and we are starting a new journey through the black moon in Cancer, which is a new healing process, bringing us back into a state of inner self-reliance, self-support, self-nurturing, ability to truly care for and provide for ourselves and to really feel that way internally on a very subconscious level. That's the lesson that we are working with now. So you guys, that is basically the story that we have going on via the energy today that we have coming in. Aside from the black moon energy, not too dicey of a day. I like the sun in trine to the moon in trine to the sun in Capricorn and Taurus. Again, getting down to some really hard work on the things that we are building right now to provide that state of security, support for us today could definitely help to offset any of the fears or insecurities that may be surfacing as a result of feeling like maybe we can't do that. So putting in the work and effort today to really focus on the task at hand and not get sort of caught in this emotional storm perhaps that may be brewing, and to, if we're going to get caught in a storm, get caught in the electrical storm where everything is being revealed to us, and then we can, based on those revelations, choose the way that we want to handle our emotional reactions going forward, learning to emotionally support ourselves and emotionally regulate ourselves in this energy. So let's talk about the tarot for a minute. Got some cards coming out this morning. Tarot time, you guys. Real interesting message coming out. We got, again, the Wheel of Fortune coming out on the back of the deck. This is the second time we've gotten this card this week, and we hadn't received this card in quite a while. And it's so interesting to me, you guys, because what did I say? The sun just transited into the sign of Taurus. This is activating the North Node. This is activating destiny. This is a card that, to me, would sort of be related to the North Node, to destiny, to like the fates at play, sort of, and the tables turning, the tides turning, like things moving forward in a way that feels more lucky and supported and facilitated by the universe, the hand of God at work, essentially. So that's what we have going on the back of the deck. And again, it's very interesting to me because with the sun in Taurus now with the North Node, I was feeling like that was going to start activating some of these fated alignments. So with Uranus there too, even more so the Wheel of Fortune, these fated realignments that are helping to put us back on the path that will actually bring us our fortune in as a metaphor for our soul's true fulfillment, which is what this 222 year and also the age of Aquarius is teaching us to create, magnetize, and attract to and for ourselves as we go through this transitional process. So we got the Wheel of Fortune on the back of the deck. So that is always a good thing. Now, the other three cards that we had coming out of the deck today, kind of an interesting message. The first card was the Five of Swords in reverse. And the Five of Swords, this is generally a card about stealing power. But when we have the Five of Swords in reverse, this is a card of, this is like more so about taking power back. So that is sort of, so now we're first of all working with taking power back, and we know that there's the Wheel of Fortune that is sort of holding things down on the back of the deck. Now the next two cards that came out were the Two of Cups in reverse, and also the Page, that's the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So essentially, what I feel like this message is saying to us is that collectively right now, we may be in sort of a place where we are sort of struggling with or dealing with some inner conflicts going on in regards to taking our power back, because we may feel or we may have some fears or insecurities in this Cancer Black Moon energy that taking our power back could really disrupt the state of our relationships and the things that are bringing us fulfillment right now in terms of the people and connections in our lives, and also our ability to pursue new opportunities and to be able to support ourselves in some type of a way. Very interesting. This is kind of a very accurate description, actually, of what could be being triggered with the Black Moon transiting Cancer while we have the Moon in Capricorn today. But on the back of the deck, with the Wheel of Fortune being there, this is literally saying that we need to not have fear and we need to trust the process because, again, the Sun, Mercury, Uranus, North Node, divine realignments, fated realignments are underway right now. And it's essentially sort of like out of our hands. But this is telling us that we need to go ahead and follow through on that process of taking our power back from the places that we have been either surrendering it or allowing it to be taken from us. And we really need to not be so concerned about the insecurities and the fears regarding the states of our relationships and the states of our financial opportunities and potential at this point in time. That really is like what this, and it makes so much sense in the context of the Black Moon in Cancer. It's really like fear of standing up for ourselves, for asserting ourselves, for taking our power back, for standing in our power because of what we might lose or what we might no longer be able to depend on, and how we might feel insecure or unsupported because of a lack of companionship or a lack of perceived financial stability or opportunity. But again, with the Wheel of Fortune on the back of the deck, you guys, these are divine realignments that are going on. We just need to follow through with the process. We need to, and even under that, we have the Nine of Wands. And this is also telling me that we just need to persevere. We need to keep going. Like this guy's like the wounded warrior right there, but he's still moving forward. Like he's still looking up. He's still got optimism. He can follow through. And that is the process right now. And we just really need to realize that these are also fleeting emotions. Once the moon moves out of the sign of Capricorn, we're not going to probably be feeling as insecure as we may have been feeling during the period of time that the Black Moon is transiting Capricorn and Cancer. So divine realignments underway, you guys. Nothing to fear, nothing to worry. We just need to follow through on that process of taking our power back and realize that any issues that are surfacing in regards to those like issues regarding dependency and codependency right now may be happening to teach us that what we need to do to be able to emotionally support ourselves. again, the whole Cancer Black Moon themes that I feel like are coming through. Okay, let's grab one more card for today. Let's grab a synchronicity card and see if there is an additional message, piece of wisdom, guidance, advice that God wants to give us today in navigating this first round of Black Moon and Cancer energy. So let's see. And also Moon Square Chiron today. This card is falling out in the back of my hand and I know it wants to come out. Didn't we get this card yesterday? That's weird. Yeah, I think we got this card yesterday. That's very bizarre. There's so many cards in this deck. It says count on God. And whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Psalms 1:3. You will prosper, you will grow and expand. The law of attraction is now working for you, and you attract all those who will help you in reaching your goals, spiritually and materially. And this is really beautiful and relevant advice again today with these Black Moon and Cancer themes coming up, and perhaps this like deep-seated feeling of like insecurity going on within us as like a result of a subconscious belief that we can't care for ourselves properly in one way or another. We can't support ourselves in one way or another. Count on God. That's the energy. And again, just like those tarot cards just said, the Wheel of Fortune on the back of the deck, we're needing to come and stand in our power and to align. Jupiter and Neptune still together as well with this spiritual infusion of light that is coming through, and also these epiphanies of light that may be coming through for us today as well, and not attach to any of these more negative feelings that may be surfacing as a result of this Black Moon energy, rather using that as a guide to gain awareness of what we need to heal within ourselves and how we can become more self-reliant and able to regulate our emotions and support ourselves internally as we go through what could be a rather difficult period over this next little while we are transitioning ages and the old matrix is breaking down and we're having to essentially relearn how to navigate our reality, but we're doing so this time in conjunction with God and Spirit. So count on God. The Wheel of Fortune is at play. Uranus in the North Node, divine realignments. We got this, you guys. It's going to be a beautiful day. So that's what I have for my report today, you guys. I hope I was able to provide something for you that can make your life a little easier today in one capacity or the other. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Share it with your friends if you think that they would be interested. Leave me comments, you guys. I absolutely love your comments. They mean so much to me. I appreciate your feedback. I love each and every one of you so much. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other social media stuff. Those are in my description box below. And come back with me tomorrow, you guys. We'll have more energy to talk about. This Black Moon energy is still going to be present. Moon is going to be moving into conjunction with Pluto as well. Things could get a little deep and heavy tomorrow. Some big transformations could be coming our way, and I'm going to be here to talk all about it. You should be too. I will see you then. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Bye.